Weight loss can be challenging, and I know that it's not just laziness that ends up leading to people's inability to lose weight. As a personal trainer, I want to touch on some of those reasons, help give you guys some better guidance on how to better lose weight, and we're going to do that right now. Now, I broke this down into 4 main reasons on why I think people struggle to lose weight, and I want to try to simplify this as best as I can. Make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end because I'm going to touch on ways that you can better improve your ability to lose weight. Now, this first point is going to be habits, and what I mean by habits are the normal patterns that you exhibit throughout a week that might be detrimental to your ability to lose weight. Some of those habits might be something like ordering a coffee and always getting a donut or a muffin or something like that. Or maybe when it comes to the end of the night, you just can't shake that ability to avoid that late night snacking. If you're someone that's overweight, you probably have already formed some bad habits. But forming new habits can be really helpful in the weight loss process, but it's a lot more challenging than people might think. Research into this topic shows that it's roughly between 18 and up to 250 days to completely form a new habit. And these habit changes could be something as simple as walking in the morning or having a salad for lunch, or trying to get to the gym a normal amount. But don't beat yourself up if you struggle with this. Even I struggle when I try to mix in, more vegetables or try to change my diet up. It's normal to struggle with new pattern development, but if you work at it, you can make some improvements. Good? Next topic. Alcohol consumption makes it so much harder to lose weight. And I see this with a lot of people when they have just their nightly glass of wine or maybe a beer or 2 at night. It starts to become detrimental because 2 can turn into 3, but even beyond that, even if you manage it appropriately, if you're in a calorie deficit because you're trying to lose weight and you start taking in alcohol, your body's going to try to prioritize digesting alcohol first. And when a lot of people are in calorie deficits, a few drinks make them make bad choices. We all know this. That's where you're going to turn to things like pretzels and nachos and late night snacks that you probably should be avoiding. And it's not that you have to avoid eating late at night, but the choices you make when drinking are just poor. Along with the fact that alcohol is linked to more abdominal fat, which is the main type of fat that people usually want to get rid of, is anything around that midline and that stomach. So try to avoid drinking as much as you can because that has a huge impact on your ability to lose weight. But that doesn't mean you have to completely stop drinking. But like we talked about with the first one, this is different habit formation. Maybe your bad habit is drinking at night and you might have to form a new one, or maybe you only drink once a week or maybe on the weekends. But either way, you're gonna have to take an honest approach at this and address it the best you can and the best that will fit your lifestyle. Moving on. Third is hyper-palatable foods. And what are hyper-palatable foods? That would be things like donuts, and now I realize that's the second time I mentioned donuts. I'm obviously thinking about it. But any food that's super sugary, super sweet, super salty, super enhanced to a point that you're not eating for satisfying hunger purposes. And we've all been there where we finish dinner, but yet there's a cheesecake or a cake or ice cream or something that is really delicious, but we're not hungry anymore, but we still find ourselves eating it. These hyperpalatable foods make it really hard to say no. And that's a real problem, especially in modern society, is foods are obviously designed to be almost addicting in a way. And this definitely circles back all the way to habit formation. And if you can form the new habit of 1, not buying these things, or 2, simply avoiding hyperpalatable foods, it takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of self-will, but you can definitely do it, and that will make a huge impact on losing weight. And the last thing on this list is people's misunderstanding on how to properly lose weight. There's 2 main avenues that people try to attack, one being diet and one being exercise. People end up focusing majority on exercise, and it's usually the opposite way. You don't have to exercise to lose weight. I definitely recommend it, and it's usually better for your health and your ability to keep that weight off. If you start going to the gym 5 or 6 days a week, really pushing hard on weights and doing a lot of maybe HIIT training or interval training where you're working pretty intensely, you're gonna find yourself becoming much more hungry, and it's going to make the diet side of this a lot more challenging. I recommend for a lot of my weight loss clients to be in about a 500 calorie deficit with 2 or 3 times a week hitting some light to moderate weight training. Nothing super crazy, and you don't have to have a super complicated workout. On top of that, doing some steady state cardio where your heart rate remains in a relatively moderate to low range. This allows us to burn energy without spiking cortisol, which can have a detrimental effect on your ability to burn fat. I see so many people come into the gym that want to lose their belly fat and they just start with doing tons of ab exercises. That's not really utilizing your time most effectively. And I understand why people would assume that doing ab exercises equals reduction in body fat in the stomach, but that's not how fat burning works. And I'm gonna link a video at the end to help you guys better understand that. With social media, it makes sense on why people struggle with knowing the correct information. And that's why I created this channel. And that's why I try to do videos like this where I give you guys better information. And if you are someone trying to lose weight, follow these simple tricks here. 1, try to remain in a calorie deficit. If you can't maintain a calorie deficit, you're not gonna be losing weight. And that's one of the most simple components behind all of this. There's a lot of apps out there like MacroFactor or MyFitnessPal that will help you track calories. I know it's tedious tracking calories, but if you at least do it for a few days, you get a general picture on how many calories you're consuming. And research on this topic has shown that people underestimate their calorie consumption by 40 to 50%. So get a general idea on what you're consuming. All right, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is gonna be some form of simple steady state cardio at a lower to moderate pace. That can be something like walking or biking, any activity that's not gonna spike the heart rate, but can still lead to a good amount of calories burned. And I mentioned earlier that it doesn't spike cortisol. It can help you in the weight loss process. And tip number 3 is gonna be what we talked about in the very beginning here, is habit formation. Try to form some new habits with some better eating patterns, with some better exercise and health patterns. And that's what's gonna make a huge impact on your health for this upcoming year. Make it all about you. Why not? You deserve it. Work on your health, make you a better version of you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hey, check out my other videos on my channel. This one up here is on walking and how it can be an effective tool for weight loss. This down here is fitness myths. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.